Ever wondered how to turn a good deal into a great one? Well, today we're uncovering the ninja negotiation skills every podcaster, or really anyone in any business, really needs to master. So stick around and learn how to negotiate like a pro. Welcome to Legit Podcast Pro, the show where we dive into the legal and business side of podcasting. I'm your host, Gordon Firemark, the podcast lawyer, and today we're going to sharpen our negotiation skills to help you get the best deals possible, whether you're in podcasting or really any other field. Negotiation is an essential skill that will open doors and secure opportunities. Whether negotiating for sponsorships or guest appearances or network deals, these techniques will prove invaluable. So let's dive in and master the art of the deal. So let's start by understanding what a negotiation really is, what it means. In its simplest form, negotiation is a dialogue between two or more parties that are aimed at reaching a mutually beneficial agreement. As podcasters, we often find ourselves negotiating deals with sponsors, guest appearances, collaborations, network deals, and much, much more. But these skills are just as valuable in other arenas like employment deals, freelance projects, personal contracts, personal relationships. Mastering negotiation can truly elevate your professional and your personal life and turn potential challenges into opportunities. Now, before you even think about negotiation, preparation is really crucial. Start by doing your research. Understand the market standards and customs and practices and what similar people in the industry you're working in are getting. This knowledge gets you benchmarks to work from and prevents you from underselling yourself, and also helps you avoid overselling and aiming too high. So next, identify your goals. What do you want to achieve from this negotiation? Is it more money, better terms, more creative control, whatever? Having clear objectives will guide your negotiation strategy and keep you focused. And remember, you need to know your worth. Assess your strengths, whether it's your podcast's reach, your unique skills, your background, your history, your fame, or your project's value overall. Being confident in your value proposition will help you negotiate from a position of strength. This is the converse is true too. If you overestimate your value, your skills, it's going to work against you. So it's really wise to do a good, clean assessment of your position in things, and then do the same thing with respect to the other side. Do as much as you can to assess their strengths and their weaknesses, the value, and so on, and understand what's in it for them and why they want to be in this deal at all in the first place, because you want to help them get what they want and need out of the deal while not giving away the farm. So listen, the more prepared you are, the more effectively you can present your case for the things you ask for and handle any challenges or objections that might arise. Next up, build rapport. This is a critical component, building rapport with the other party. Establishing a positive relationship will make negotiations go more smoothly and more productively. Effective communication is really the key. Be open and honest and professional in all your interactions. I also always look for opportunities to show respect for the other party and their position, even when I'm saying no to something they're asked for. Look for common ground and shared interests that will foster a collaborative atmosphere. This kind of mutual respect and understanding really can pave the way for more successful negotiations. Showing empathy and active listening can help build trust and demonstrate that you value the other party and their perspective. When both sides feel that they are heard and respected, it becomes easier to reach a mutually beneficial agreement. Now, let's discuss the art of making the offer. Your initial offer should reflect your value, but also should leave some room for negotiation. So this is where the concept of anchoring comes into play. Anchoring involves setting a reference point around which the negotiation revolves. By starting with a strong, well-reasoned, easy for me to say, a strong, well-reasoned offer, you set a benchmark that influences the final agreement. So this is, starting off, whoever's saying the first number needs to think in these terms. Be clear and confident as you present your offer. Detail why your proposed terms are justified based on your research and the value that you provide in this situation. Now, this will set a positive tone for the negotiation. It shows that you're a professional, that you've thought things through and done that preparation. Remember, your initial offer is not just a number, it's a statement of what you believe is fair and reasonable based on the value that you bring to the table. The stronger that value and your justification of it, the more persuasive your offer will be. Once you've done the offer, the next step is counteroffer. Handling counteroffers is where your flexibility and adaptability come into play. Listen carefully to the other party's responses and be prepared to adjust your terms reasonably, within reason. However, it's also very important that you know when to stand firm on key points. Negotiation is a balancing act. It's a game of compromise, but you shouldn't compromise too much. Sometimes you'll need to make a compromise on some less critical issues so you can gain ground on more important ones. Always aiming for a win-win outcome where both parties feel satisfied with the deal is really a good approach. It's also important that you stay calm and collected during this process. If negotiations do become tense, take a step back, breathe, reassess your position, maybe even adjourn for a while. And if it's really tense, if they're not showing you appropriate respect, well, first off, think hard about whether you want to be in business with people who treat people that way. But it's possible that you might have to just sort of know where it's time to walk away. Knowing when you're not getting what you need out of the deal and being willing to walk away is probably your strongest tool in negotiation strategy. That willingness to and recognition of when it's time to walk away and say no thank you is really important. But as I said before, that opportunity to save face, if the other side has miscalculated and you do decide, no deal, I'm walking, this isn't going to be it, you may want to leave an opening just to say something like, hey, I guess we're going to have to pass. It seems like we're just not going to get to the deal here, but thanks very much for this. And listen, if anything changes, just, reach out, let me know. But for now, it's a pass. That kind of approach leaves them an opportunity to save face. Maybe they blame someone else. My lawyer told me my partner was really dug in on this, but I've convinced him that to see the light. Those kinds of things, and then you can resume the negotiations. And actually, in that resumption, you have tremendous bargaining power because now they know you're not wedded to the deal. So remember, a successful negotiation is really about finding a solution that benefits everyone involved. And if there's no benefit for you, then you probably shouldn't be doing the deal. All right, next up we have closing the deal. This is where you finalize the terms and ensure that everybody's on the same page. After all, contract is a deal, an agreement, a meeting of the minds. Mutual assent is the legal term in contract law. So everybody needs to be on that same page. You want to get everything in writing as early on as possible. If you've negotiated in person or on the phone or whatever, getting things in writing to confirm all the agreed points really, really is important. It doesn't have to be a fully formed formal contract yet, but sending over a bullet point email or something is a really good step to confirming the terms of agreement before you then go to drafting that long one. Now, a well-drafted long-form contract really is essential especially for larger deals, in order to protect your interests and avoid future misunderstandings. So make sure that when you get there, it does outline all the agreed terms and conditions, doesn't leave anything open or to chance, and doesn't have big, gaping ambiguities and things like that. And once the deal is closed and signed, follow up, maintain the relationship. That can lead to more opportunities down the line. Remember, when you're going into a deal, you are entering a relationship, and relationships are based on mutual trust and respect and appreciation. So show it. It's also wise that you review things really carefully before you sign, just to ensure that everything is accurate. trust and faith are fine, but wait until that's after you're sure. And then make sure there are no hidden clauses or nitty gritty. A lot of times in contracts we see a left hand give and a right hand take away, and so be thoughtful and careful about that. Now, this step of things, right before signing, that careful review, really is where you solidify the agreement and you have that clarity about the relationship. So there are some common pitfalls that show up in negotiations, and I'm going to share them with you and a little bit about how to avoid them. One common mistake is going in unprepared. Always come to the table with all of your information and a clear strategy in mind. Seat of the pants approach, it's not going to serve you well. Another pitfall is to let your emotions drive your decisions. Staying calm and focused on the objectives is very, very important. So don't hesitate to take a step back, adjourn the meeting, whatever it is, and reassess your position. Just say, listen, I'm going to have to think about this. Let's come back in a day or so, whatever. And remember, rejection isn't the end. If the deal starts to fall through, if you're on the other side of that walking away scenario I said, ask for some feedback. Hey, what was it? What is it that's the problem here? Use that to improve your approach, either in coming back to the table or next time you come to the table with another party. Keeping the door open for those future opportunities really is vital. Also, avoid making concessions too quickly. Take your time to understand the other party's needs, offer solutions that work for both sides. This strategic approach really helps in maintaining your position and achieving better outcomes. And now I just want to say a quick word about using lawyers or agents or other people. Having a representative or an advisor in the mix, someone who is not attached to outcomes, someone who can be a little more dispassionate about things, is a really good idea. Sometimes they'll talk you off the ledge. Sometimes they'll talk you onto the ledge, depending on what's needed. But it's really important to have someone maybe not quite as interested in the outcome, not as invested, to advise and counsel and step in and be your voice as necessary. All right. So I want to talk about a couple sort of examples, that'll bring this to life a little bit. One case is a podcaster I worked with who had a really, really nice deal offered, and we were able to successfully negotiate this really, really major sponsorship deal, much bigger than the usual CPM kind of a deal. And really, this podcaster knew their numbers. They had good but not stellar subscription and download numbers, but their engagement was through the roof, and their social media following was through the roof, and they knew everything they could about their listener demographics and so on. They really had prepared thoroughly, and that helped them to build a rapport and earn the respect of this sponsor that they pitched, and it led to a very compelling offer that highlighted the mutual benefits. They were able to ask for much more than the quote going rate. Now, and get it, by the way. And another example is where the freelance creator who turned a potential major rejection that was coming down the pipe into a big success because they knew a lot about the other party. By proposing an alternate project model that better suited that client's needs, wants, and goals and budget, they were able to be flexible, and they took a problem-solving approach, and that led to a fruitful partnership that has lasted for years and years now, and it just keeps getting better and better. So stories like these illustrate how the preparation, clear communication, and being flexible and adaptable can lead to really positive outcomes. They show that with the right approach, even challenging negotiations can be turned into positive, productive agreements. And on the other hand, when I work with clients who come in a big hurry, or they just want to get the deal done, there's no time or no inclination to do this preparation, they don't want to bother looking at their numbers or understanding the demographics, those kinds of things, or they're not interested in considering lots of options, and they just sort of take that seat of the pants approach, well, those deals, they turn out to be pretty average at best. And those who don't place a realistically high enough value on themselves and what they're doing, well, they get what they think they deserve, not so much what they do deserve. And the opposite isn't true. Those who come in thinking that they're all hot stuff, they usually get a dose of reality when those counteroffers start coming back and forth. And sometimes the deals just evaporate. So As we wrap up, let's recap some key points. Preparation is crucial. Know your market, set clear goals, and understand your value. Have a disinterested representative, a neutral, someone not neutral, but someone who's on your side but doesn't have an investment in the outcome, help you and advise you. Build rapport with the other party to create a positive environment for the negotiation. Make that strong initial offer or initial counteroffer in response if they've made the offer. Handle the counteroffer process back and forth with flexibility and grace, but also stand firm on the things that are most important to you, and ensure that all of the terms ultimately are clearly documented in the contract before you sign. Avoid the common pitfalls by staying prepared, keeping your emotions in check, and view rejection as an opportunity to reopen the negotiation or to learn from it or to show that you're not a sore loser, that you're a professional and those kinds of things. And before we go, here's a quick reminder for specialized attorney drafted legal template documents specifically designed for the podcast industry. I just want to invite you to come on over to podcastlawforms.com. Here is where you will find the resources that will provide the solid foundation for all of your podcasting ventures and serve as the baseline templates for the negotiations that you're getting into. Whether you're just starting out or looking to expand or grow, having the right legal documents in place can make all the difference. So now I just want to say thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you found these ninja negotiation skills valuable and that you're ready to apply them to your podcasting journey and beyond. Remember, effective negotiation can significantly enhance your success. And for more resources, including those specialized attorney-drafted legal template documents specifically designed for this industry, podcasting, visit podcastlawforms.com. That's podcastlawforms.com, right there on the screen. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and stay tuned for our next episode where we'll be diving into more of the legal and business insights that I can share with you as podcasters. Thanks for listening and happy podcasting.